Yes, we have to talk about it. Yes, I want to be open with my kids on everything. No, I don't want to go after these guys, boycott these companies, tear them down, call them names, whatever. I don't want to do that. I'd rather say, how can we fix ourselves?
I think the children understand a lot more than we give them credit for. I've been an elementary school and a middle school teacher. And also, this is definitely a problem. I think, you know, the American Psychological Association did a 72-page report about the sexualization of girls in 2007. They put together an entire task force and focused on this issue. And they have videos on YouTube where you can go and you can watch middle school-aged girls and their opinions, and they understand what's being presented to them, and they have their own opinions about it, and they don't like it.
But I do think we might want to write letters to businesses that sell costumes of this sort and spend our dollars elsewhere and comment on, I will not purchase this. I saw this costume and I have a problem with it. Or this bathing suit, as I went up to the manager and said, I'm going to go elsewhere for an appropriate bathing suit.
I will tell you, who was it that was talking about Abercrombie and the thong underwear?
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
And eye candy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I won't, and there's a difference between, I know it's a subtle difference, but I just believe in the individual, and if individuals decide to collect and let their voice be heard in a chorus, that's great. But I mean, I don't think there's anything more powerful than walking into a store and putting it down in front of them and saying, really? You're a member of our community. Really? If this is what you're going to sell, I won't spend my money here, and nor will anybody else, in being reasonable and actually doing that. I think connecting one-on-one with people and just showing them. You can't tell me that there's not, you know, you said earlier that, you know, most men are running media.
Well, Abercrombie released a statement about those underwear that said that they were created with the intent to be cute.
Yeah, but Abercrombie is this close to being a complete evil company. They do that kind of stuff for their marketing, so they don't have to spend the money. So they're just doing it because they can get talk, and it's despicable. But beyond that, you know, men might be marketing, but they're dads. Why can't we reach out? Guys need to do this. Reach out to the guys who are running these companies and say, good God, man, you're a dad. You're a dad. You want somebody looking at your daughter the way others are going to be looking at your child. And by the way, every time I have taken a picture of my children and I have put a picture of one of my children out on the internet, my daughter does ballet. She's 8. I don't put any pictures of her anywhere because I know someplace in the world there's some sick freak that is looking at that. Stop. Why would you choose to do that? Why would you choose as a company to say, hey, you know what, and I'm going to have her dress up in a leather skirt with handcuffs when you know? Yeah.
I don't know that we necessarily want them to be dressing for other people. We want them to find that intrinsic value in themselves so that they know that they don't have to do that in order to please other people.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm not suggesting that they do. Boy, I'm having a tough time.
I'm just say something. You said these are dads, these are men. You know, they need to be saying something, which I completely agree with. But we also have to realize that these kind of issues affect both genders, right? So we tell men that you are important if you're powerful, if you don't feel your feelings, if you're controlling, and if you're violent. We say that in almost all media that we put out there. So we don't say, oh, well, you should look at a woman holistically, you should respect them. So those people are also dads and making decisions. Yep. So we have to think about what kind of messaging are we sending in general, because these outfits affect everybody. The media affects everybody. Nobody is immune. And it's really about gender phobia, of us saying, to be a man, it's this, and to be a woman, it's this. And if you vary from that at all, if you are an emotional man, that's bad. If you're a woman who likes to speak her mind, that's bad too, right? And so we really have to look at people as individuals and respect them as whoever they are. That's where the change is going to happen, whether you're a man, a woman, whatever, that is where the change will happen. And the reason that they create these costumes is because we buy them, right? They would not create them anymore. So I absolutely agree, is for us to say, actually, we're not going to do this, and we're not going to put money towards clothing lines or stores or movies that dehumanize any gender.